Yo, what up, everybody? Been a while since I did a video like this, so I'm just gonna, you know, go right at it. So there's one thing that's been bothering me lately, pretty much a lot. So, what's up with all the black men getting killed by police every other day? I mean, I'm kind of a black male myself, so it's kind of, terrifying to be honest. I mean, it's all on video, and then when you think about the ones that aren't being recorded, I mean, how many per day would that be? And most of the time, it's unjustified, clearly, as the video has shown. And if they're not getting killed, they're getting damn near beaten to death, which I guess is better, but it's still not right. It's not appropriate at all. I mean, isn't the job of a police officer to arrest and detain criminals if they are criminals in the first place? Some of these have just been random citizens stopped for a ticket or just a search, and half the time it's without a warrant or anything. So that right there is already unjust. I mean, it really leads me to think a lot about, should I be afraid to go outside? Should I be afraid to be driving, to be pulled over, even when I'm doing nothing wrong? Should I have to worry about if I'm gonna make it back home safely, just because of my skin tone is a little bit darker than theirs? I mean, is that right? Or are people desensitized to this, or do they not know what's going on? Because, I mean, the media has caught on to it a while ago, and, I'm guessing they don't really care, but they sure are holding on to it to make some money off of it. It's sad people do for publicity, but, it's wrong of the news networks, though, to always try to paint the criminals, which are minorities, usually African American or black or whatever term they want to use, as these vile creatures, beast animals that attack people unprovoked, and how the police just feed into this and use it to their advantage and say things like it was justified because he was trying to steal my taser or reached for my gun. Which, of course, for the ones that aren't on video, there's no proof. And unfortunately, when it comes to these things, jury and judges usually tend to side with the cops, police, because they figure, hey, that's what they're paid to do, right? They're just doing their job. Nothing wrong with that. But police, or any profession, really, they're still human. There's still human error that goes into these things. Human logic or a lack of logic. Human emotions or a lack of emotions, once again. Depending on the person, how they feel, how they perceive everything. It's going to make things come out a little different. And people always want to protect their job. Especially when your job involves sometimes having to hurt or potentially kill someone. And not wanting to have consequences for it. Sometimes, yes, they will lie, cheat, steal, do whatever they need to, plant evidence, rough up people unwarrantedly. And that's the unfortunate part. They do whatever it takes to keep their job sometimes. It's just, why does it always seem to be a black man getting killed? More so than any other. I mean, no one really should be having to get killed for no reason. That's just really the main thing. But when you break it down and look into these things in detail, and you pay attention to these things like their skin tone, where they're from, what kind of neighborhood it is, it's really like, do they really want to crack down on urban crime? But are these all really criminals? Do these people not have families that they're trying to go home to? Are they just not trying to make it back home alive after their 9 to 5? Because maybe they really do have a job. Maybe they're not just these bums or drug dealers like everyone assumes. I mean, the way we're painted in the media is disgusting. It's horrible, horrendous, terrible. Like, so many adjectives just to describe it. It is depressing. It really hurts. Coming from a family where I know I look like, and the rest of my family all looks like the people that are getting gunned down in the street every other week. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm tired of seeing videos where I have to say, wow, that could have been me. And it sure as hell could have. And I hate having to say, well, that very well might be one day. And that's something you gotta live with when you're just a black man in this great state called America. And even though some people might not see anything wrong with that, I sure as hell do. I'm not desensitized like people tend to be somehow. I realize these things are actually wrong. But what can you do against a nation that feels like, no, they're all criminals, they're all drug dealers, they're all bad? No, not any one gender, ethnicity, anything, religion, not any one whole solidarity is bad. I mean, like-minded people do get together sometimes and create groups dedicated to doing crimes. Yes, you call them gangs, or hate groups like the KKK or the Nazis, but still, you can't call every German person a Nazi. You can't call every black person a blood or a crip. You can't call every Hispanic person a Latin king. And you can't call every person from the South a KKK member or Aryan or anything like that. That's ridiculous. Why stereotype and generalize so much? Why does this hatred and racism need to be? Why does it need to be promoted and have people looking down upon others just for their skin tone, just for their religion, just for their gender? Even gender stereotypes irritate me, and I'm a male. And I know men are supposed to have this kind of attitude like, oh, we're better, and whatever. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm never going to say I'm better than someone because I'm a man, or I'm better than someone because I'm a black man, or I'm better than someone because I don't have a religion. I don't use these things to try to up my status in the world or feel better about myself. I can feel good about myself just knowing who I am as a person, the things I do, the way I treat people, the way I feel about myself. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not. It's hard. Like, it hurts. It really does. Seeing someone suffer is never a good thing, especially when you know that it could have been you, could have been your brother, could have been your sister, could have been your mother, could have been any relative. It could have been a friend. It could have been your neighbor. They don't deserve that. Not at all. But that's enough about me, really, I guess. What do you think?